Sports, folks. This is Alpine Chris here at CU. We're going to be doing our pregame show this morning. It's not morning. What am I talking about? I've been here. I've been on campus since this morning. So every time I talk to somebody, I always say good morning for some reason. I don't know why. But go ahead and put up in the chat where you're from, who you are, where you're from. There's Rob is in the house. Oh, Danny's in the house. All right. Awesome, guys. First, yeah. All right, my buddy, first named after one, is here as well. It's going to be electric, yeah. We're going to go into doing a pregame during. Can give me a thumbs up if you guys can see, if you guys can hear me okay, because the mic is always kind of dicey as far as that's concerned. But Colorado Springs. Hey, Ernesto, nice job, buddy. So you're a local guy. New Orleans is in the house. New Orleans is a big supporter of this channel. Texas, obviously, big supporter. Houston's my number 2 market there. I haven't done any videos this week because I've been on vacation this week. And vacation in Colorado is like a crazy thing because there's so many things to do here. So I didn't do any videos. So we'll do one now. And I think most of you guys have actually watched videos. Let's see. Oh, Patricia's in the house. Kenny is in the house. Now, guys, at the end of this live stream is going to be the Buff Walk. Right now, we're just going to talk about CU versus BYU. And then at the end of this, I've got, look right down the gunnel like I always do. I've got the Buff Walk right in front of us here, so we're going to be able to see everything. So just hang out with me now, and we're going to be able to see the Buff Walk as we go. But right now, there's no one to really look at here, other than me, and the tailgates really haven't started in this area. Let me show you a view real quick of this is Franklin Field. So behind me is the IPF. This is where the Buffs practice in foul weather and before Folsom got turf. And then right over here is the exit right here where players' families come out because they're all inside right now hanging out. So they're all coming out there. And then you got Folsom, the most beautiful stadium in all of college football right here. It's not oversized, but it's over beautiful. And we got a beautiful night here. Right now it's about 75 degrees. Overcast skies, so it feels like, I don't know, 65 degrees. It's really nice. Tonight's supposed to be a nice night. So let me get centered here a little bit, but we'll talk about the Buffs. So throw in the comments, I want you to tell me the Buffs will win this game if, right? Because right now I think we all know that BYU is obviously favored in this game. A lot of people believe that there's going to be a rout in this game, meaning a rout of CU in this game, because of the way that BYU has been playing, the cupcake teams that they've been playing all season. I obviously don't believe that because I'm a CU fan. If I believed that, I wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be talking right now. I believe that there are possibilities that we can win any game, and it doesn't matter what game and who we play. If we play Georgia, if we play Ohio State, I believe we could win that game. But certain things have to be in place in order for us to win the game. And we're going to talk about that. So let's see, that's Telvin. Is that Telvin? I can't see with my glasses on. Telvin says, if they stop the run, Salter must play his game. We're in section 220 for 30 years. Nice job, guys. I'm in section 219, so I'm right down the street from you there. Jennifer says, howdy. So yeah, so I think all of you guys that are saying the same things in the chat, which is we have to stop the run and Caden's got to play his game. That's exactly what I have. So first, let's go down a few things for the pregame. I took some stats that you may already know, and I'm going to start off with BYU because BYU is supposed to, I guess, technically, a lot of people are saying that they're going to rout us in this game. So let's say that for those people that are thinking that they're going to rout us in this game, this is what they're looking at. BYU is number 2 in total defense, only allowing 205 yards of offense per game. And when you think about that, we're allowing over 400 yards of offense in a game. And I don't know if that's still 400 because I didn't look at it this week. But going into last week, we were at 400 yards. We allowed less than 400 yards last week. And we stopped the run better than normal last week. So that might have fallen below 400, but I don't think it fell by much. So they're allowing half of what we allow. Number 7, BYU is number 7 in rush offense, allowing running for 266 yards per game, which is insane. 266 yards per game is insane, right? I mean, it's hard to defend the run when you got a team that's running for 266. They're committing to the run, right? BYU, and BYU is number 14 in time of possession. And for those of you who are on this channel a lot with me, you know time of possession is my number one thing. You control time of possession, and you can have a lot of weaknesses on your team. But if you control the clock, you can get by with a lot of those deficiencies. But not if you don't, right? If you're at what we are right now, Colorado is number 104 in time of possession. We had basically one game that we were over 30 minutes of time of possession. The rest of the year, we've been like 27 minutes, and our average is 27 minutes. We had one game where we were 23 and a half minutes in time of possession. And you're not going to win a football game, especially against BYU, when you only have the ball for 23 minutes out of a 60-minute game. Because those guys, every time they get the ball, they have the potential of scoring. So you got to keep the ball away from them, and that's the problem that we're going into right now, is that we got to keep the ball away from BYU, and time of possession is the key. Now, I'm not looking at the chat as we go along because it doesn't appear, so I'm going to look at it again. We got I don't even know what you're saying there. Let's see. Let's go. Salter on running back, most run for over 200 yards total. Also PAT to do the better run plays. Pat to do the better run plays. Yeah. So that's one of my keys to the game. So I'm just going to go straight into that. Colorado number 66 pass offense. That's something that we need to lean on. Number 66 is not a small deal, guys. This is out of 130 teams that we're talking about here. Number 66 with a rotating quarterback committee. You know, not very many times do I say that we need to lean on the pass, and I'm not going to say it this time because we need to lean on the run. We got to be able to create time of possession in our favor. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if we do that enough against BYU and we force them to defend our pass, I think that Caden Salter can get it done. And the fact, thank you very much, KA, for your super chat. Appreciate that very much. The opportunity that we have in the passing game is going to be awesome. But we're not going to be able to get that if we can't run the ball. And missing basically the two guys that give us the best opportunity on the run right now in Trackhawk and who else are we missing? Price. That's going to hurt this game. I'll tell you that much. But what we need out of this is we need Caden to be Caden. And we need Caden to have over a 100-yard game. And I'm saying more than 100 yards. He's already had close to a 100-yard game. We need him to have over 100 yards in this game. Like, we need him to absolutely freak out on the run. And I think that's going to keep him off balance. If we can have him as a threat in the run, then it's going to give us the opportunity to hit those big go routes downstream. Now, before I say that, I want to remind you guys that I'm a big tight end guy. Tight ends in football, I think, are an absolute must. If you don't have a tight end game, you don't have a game, as far as I'm concerned. And the reason for that is because those tight ends can sneak into the middle of the field there where it can sometimes be a little bit soft. You get the linebackers cheating up, thinking for run. You get the backfield on man at that point, leaving the entire middle of the field open. Tight end hits block, sneaks off into the middle of the field, and we pick up, between 7 and 15 extra yards. And we can do that over and over and over again, but we have not exploited that. I think the most targets we've had on a tight end so far in a year or in a game has been 2 to 3 this year. We need way more than that. Like, we need Caden to key that tight end. That's one of my main keys to the game. Colorado has the number 89 rush offense. which is like, you think number 89 is not that good, but keep in mind, last year, guys, we were dead last. So I'll take number 89 at 141 yards per carry. And I looked it up, and it looks like this year there are more teams running more yards than there were last year. So being number 89 is not a small feat. Like, I believe in that right now. The problem that we have is that we're number 4 in time of possession, and we're number 121 in rush defense. So number 121 in rush defense versus the number 2 rushing offense in the country. Or what did I say? Number 7 rushing offense in the country. That's a problem, guys. So we're going to have to, a couple of things are going to have to happen in this game. The keys to this game. Number 1, time of possession. Does that surprise anybody? Time of possession? My number 1 every week is time of possession. If we don't get time of possession in this game, meaning that we have over 31 minutes and we control the clock, we're going to lose this game. I'm going to tell you right now, we cannot win this game if we do not have at least 30 to 31 minutes of time of possession. We've got to keep the ball away from their offense because they're going to score on, I would say, 90% of their offensive strikes. They're going to score either a touchdown or a field goal. They're going to get it. Remember that BYU is not, they're an altitude school. Altitude does not affect them at all, not even a little bit. So we're not playing that game here like we do with some of the other teams. They have a great conditioning program. They are a very obviously mature team. I think the average age is like 23 or 24 years old for the team. And they have players that are on their team that are like 27. It's like when you're talking about the maturity of their team, it's a little one-sided from that perspective. And that means something. It really does, because you're talking about players that have seen it all, done it all. Sometimes they make better decisions. Sometimes they're better in their mental space when they're a little bit older. We all are now versus where we were when we were young. So we have to offset that, and time of possession is going to do that. The last thing I wanted to mention is that, I'm sorry, not the last one. We're just now starting on this. Time of possession is my number 1. If we win time of possession, I think we can win this game. Okay, but my number 1 key is not yet. It's not yet. We're coming to it. Run. We have to stop the run. That's not my number 1, right? That's not my number 1, but we got to stop the run. And what I mean by that is last game, we actually did a pretty good job of stopping the run. And we had most of their rush yards that came from Wyoming were on a couple of big plays. But overall, we stuffed the run pretty well. And there's no reason why we can't do that to BYU. Remember, BYU, for what everybody says, has not done anything. They haven't played anybody yet. So they're ranked and they haven't played anybody yet. And that could mean anything. It could mean they're as good as they say they are. They're as good as they were last year. Okay? Or it could mean that they just haven't played anybody yet. And we're a different team than we were in week 1. We're a different team than we were in week 2 or week 3. So at this point, I don't think that there's any reason why we can't get up there and grab this. But stop the run. That means make Bear Bachmeier, their quarterback, make him throw the ball. It comes down to that. Now I know that our pass defense is not all that great, and I didn't even throw out that statistic, but I think you guys all know that. But I think we're like in the bottom quarter of the league, of the NCAA, the Division I schools, Power 4 schools, in secondary proficiency. And the defense in general is not ranked all that great, right? But we know we have individual great players, and we know we have an individually great coach for our defense, our defensive coordinator. So that said, there's no reason that in any one of these games, including this game right now, we can make a defensive stand like we had last year and just in one game come out and say, what you saw in the last 4 games wasn't indicative of what we've got going on at CU. This is what we have going on, and this is what we have to offer. And we stop BYU's run. We make them pass. The passing proficiency is weak. We take the time of possession away from them, and we score a lot of points. We scored 37 in the last game, guys. You know, do I think that we're going to be one of these teams that, you know, scores 37 plus points in every game right now? No, I don't. I don't think we are. And I don't care that we do. We have to keep them from scoring, and we have to keep the time possession on our side. My third key to the game. So first one was time possession. Second one was stop the run. Third key to the game are edges. Our edges must contain, and our linebackers must fill those gaps. And that's what it comes down to. Our edges, I think, are some of the best edges in college football. The problem is we haven't seen that consistently. And if we can contain the running backs and the quarterbacks, we don't get too committed to where the wheel routes just kill us, right? I think we're going to be okay, which means stay at home. Do I care that we pressure the quarterback too much? Nah, not really. I really don't care that we pressure the quarterback too much. I'm talking about containing the run. I'm talking about staying home, containing the run. Don't let the play get behind you. Okay, now you maybe not heard that from anybody else but me. But keep in mind that in my time, I played like 3 years of defensive end. And the one thing I was taught over anything else, and it was pounded into me, was stay home. Right? When it's time to stay home, stay home. When it's time to get to the quarterback, get to the quarterback. But when you got to stay home, that means don't let the play get behind you as a defensive end, right? So now it's changed a little bit since then. We have the edges. For those that say they want Bear to be pressured, okay, I get it. They're going to be running 41 times this game. They're going to run 41 times, right? So I don't know how much pressure you're going to get on the quarterback when they're handing the ball off 41 times. I mean, LJ could potentially run all over us if we don't figure out that line, right? That said, that was my number 3. My number 4 is get the tight ends involved. I say that every game we don't do it. So I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face, until we do it. We need to get the tight ends involved. The tight ends are really good for CU. We finally have a tight end group that's worthy of being tight ends. And I'm not only talking about blocking, okay? And I know that Zach is probably not the best, that we've seen so far. He's not as good in blocking as he is with his hands. But at the same time, we need him to show his proficiency in the pass. And with those linebackers creeping up, if we can get the run game going good enough, and Caden Salter runs the ball effectively enough, we're going to be able to get the tight ends behind those linebackers. And I'm telling you, there's going to be 5 to 7 yards of open space there. And if we can do that, and we practice that, if we practice that this week, that's going to be money for us, because they're going to eat 7 to 10 yards. They're going to keep the clock running. Okay, then we're going to run, 7 to 10 yards, keep the clock running, right? And that's what we're trying to do here. My 5th key to the game, because there's like 100 keys to this game, right? We gotta have 100 keys to win this game. Is Caden Salter for 100 yards, Welch big explosions, and Dallin Hayden finally showing up in this game. We finally have Dallin. We're missing 50% of our. Hang on a second, guys. We got cheerleaders coming. Let me show you cheerleaders, and I'll get back into the rest of it. By the way, for those of you who are just joining the live stream, we're going to be showing Buff Walk here in a second. The Buff Walk will be coming soon. Yeah, I think I missed all the cheerleaders. I'm not even sure. But anyway. Oh, Chip's there too. I didn't even see Chip. Yeah, love that. Love that band. Anyway, so we're going to show, as soon as the buses show up, I promise you, we're going to show the Buff Walk. I'm waiting for the buses to pull up in front, and then we're going to go straight. Hang on, more cheerleaders. Hang on a second, guys. Yeah, so back to Salter in the running game. At this point, Salter's got to have 100 yards in this game. Welch, big explosive plays. He hasn't been that big explosive guy this year yet that I've seen and that you've seen. He's had some really good runs, and in the last game he had some good cleanup stuff. But what it comes down to is we need Welch to carry the load today. And Dallin Hayden. Man, Dallin, when he came, I thought for sure this is the ticket to our run game. Haven't seen it. Saw him last game a little bit. This is your game, Dallin. I want you to channel your inner Oklahoma State, what am I talking about? Ohio State University, OSU. And let's get this going. We need to see Dallin show up and to do those big chip runs that he had at Ohio State and really carry. I mean, this is hero time, right? You've been involved in this program for a couple of years now, and you're looking for a breakout game. This is your breakout game, Dallin. I'm channeling you, buddy. Let's go do it.
I think so, yeah.
Then my last one is Colorado secondary. Man, Colorado secondary has been thrown under the stinking bus. Has been thrown flat under the bus. PFF is saying they're thrown under the bus. Everybody is saying they're trash, and that we're missing a ton of tackles. You know, and I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm not saying that it is true. What I'm saying is that we have a defensive coordinator who was a defensive backs coach, and he knows how to coach this team. Plus, we have the best defensive back in the world, in the history of the NFL and college football. They're going to show up, and they're going to show up either in this game or one of the games coming up. They're going to show up, and what I'm saying is, you guys got to pitch a shutout today. You guys got to be cover corners. You got to shut that down. Bear is not. It's 66.7% efficiency, which is good, but obviously under pressure, he's not all that great. So, and what I said earlier about not needing necessarily that the edges and the defensive line gets in there and puts their helmet in his grill. At the same time, if he's under pressure, he's not a very good quarterback compared to when he's not. Okay, and that's the stats for this year anyway. He's a freshman. We know that there's a lot going on with him, and that he has an opportunity in this game to show out, really. I mean, this is his kind of Super Bowl at this point, because the first few games that he's played have really been very good talent. So people who are on his bandwagon say that he can play against anybody, and the opposing part of that is the fact that he hasn't played anybody, so we don't know how he's going to be affected by the type of players that we have, because he hasn't seen the type of players that we've had. So we'll see how he does. And that's it. I think my number one out of that entire group right now is that we need to stop the run, obviously. Stopping the run is the most important thing. If we don't stop LJ from running in this game, it's going to be very hard for us to win this game. We've got to stop him. We've got to put it in Bear's hands and have him try to win it through the air. And then we got to hopefully keep our secondary intact and shutting down some of those receivers and keeping Bear buried underneath our defensive line. We have a lot of people out for injury. You guys know that. You saw the injury reports. Anquan Barnes isn't going to be here until the second half, so we're going to have to rely on Amari McNeil and others in order to get into this game. And Amari McNeil is one of my guys. Like I think he can absolutely carry it. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. But when Anquan comes in the second half, we got to have a close enough game to where he can affect the game, right? And when he comes into that game, it's going to be a big deal, guys. Look for that first series after we get Anquan Barnes in, because he's going to be the guy that's going to lose the game and be physical, then lose the game and play so far off because we're afraid of getting penalized that we end up losing the game because we're just not physical enough. Now, that said, I'm also the guy that in the first three games, I said my number one or number two or number three key to the win is that we have to keep the penalties down. So I'm a little two-faced in that, but at the same time, after we had, what game was it, man? It was the Houston game. After the Houston game, I changed my thought on this because we're going to get penalties, but we played so weak in that game. We did not play physical enough. I'm like, damn it. I would rather play physical and get penalties, not serious penalties, not targeting penalties or anything like that, but at least playing close enough to where we can get some pressure on them. And so that's where I'm at right now. I think we need to play physical. If we end up getting some PIs, that's not going to lose the game for us in this case. It's going to be, it's less serious than you think, I promise.
It looks fancy.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it, buddy. What? Stray bullet took out a part of DFW fiber optic line on Friday? So you're not able to see the game, is that what you're saying? All right, DJ says so many times the linebackers are either over pursuing and missing tackles for loss. They may be out of position due to other overthinking and trying to do somebody else's job. And that may be the case. I know linebacker's been a tough position for us this year. We knew it was going to be a tough position going into this year because of the losses that we had and the great linebacker play that we had, especially late in last year. But at the same time, we got to have faith that at some point these guys are going to get it together and they're going to understand that, like in this game specifically, I mean, they're built to plug those gaps. Is really what this comes down to. If they can't plug the gaps and the edges contain, we're not going to win this game. And I don't want to be a downer on this, but this is a serious point in my life right now. Like I'm like seeing what BYU did to us last year in the bowl game. Like this game means more to me probably than any other single game this year. Like I want revenge on BYU to the point that it looks silly. I want to make BYU look silly. And it means that we got to control every small aspect. We don't have Salter is not the quarterback that's going to be doing a Hail Mary in the fourth quarter to win the game. Like we got to grind this thing out. He is the quarterback that can get in there and he can grind this thing into cornmeal and grind BYU down. Do the same thing to BYU that BYU does to everybody else. We can play that game. And we can slow it down, and we can make it a low-scoring game. BYU is known for putting a lot of points on the board, and I don't know that we can play that game with them because their defense is just like super, super good. So we've got to slow them down, and we got to go into like a 2024 kind of game, 2023 kind of game, to where we have an opportunity for us to win in the fourth quarter. And I'm not going to lie. I can't stand here and say that I think we're all blown out because if anybody says that, I think obviously they're silly. What is Vaughn just said something. Let me see what Vaughn said here. Vaughn said, "Hey now, glad you were back online. I have plenty of family here in DFW and Houston areas." At Bad Mama C, Vaughn. Thank you for being here, Vaughn. Yeah, win today and they're on their check. Guys, if you can beat any ranked team, the number 25 ranked team, whatever it is. All right, it looks like we're coming here, guys. The buses are in, and here comes the Buff Walk. I'm going to stop talking for a minute, let you guys enjoy. then we have dignitaries, guys. All these folks coming in are dignitaries and family. We're excited though. And this also is part of, keep in mind that if you guys want, you can be part of this buff walk just by being part of that black and gold upgrade. The black gold upgrade's a big deal. You can be part of this group. There's a lot of people involved in this. Holy mackerel.
But you know what?
Easy Sunrise says we got to be aggressive. I think that is an understatement there, sir.
Like a million times.
Ma'am. We have to be aggressive. If we don't come out, 30-pound boombox. That was a dang big boombox. And then we got cheerleaders coming through, so make sure you see these cheerleaders coming through. These guys over here at BYU want to see your cheerleaders stop for a picture. And by the way, BYU had the biggest, emptiest tailgate I've ever seen at a CU game, ever. Like they had like half of the western part of the